And maybe somebody told the Pope to say this to me, but I remember, or whatever the pastor. Sorry, I don't know. I'm new to this whole thing. I'm new. Pardon me. I'm currently looking into the Crusades on whether or not they were actually as horrific as they said. I actually have a documentary pulled up.
Yeah, they obviously got mad. And
got him. OnlyFans slut status owned and dude, that's so pathetic, dude. This is wretched. At some point, he started moving more towards the sort of like rightoid angle, and then he basically became like a Christian, born again Christian, and you know, to put it very simply, right? So I thought that Tectone was taking the same path when he was moving towards like a rightoid angle in terms of his content, and then Tectone posted an image on his social media which referenced to or alluded to religion. And then what we're going to be watching today is he posted a video called Faith. Now, I don't know much about Tectone to that level, despite being Tomato Town Duro Buddies. Yeah, put a tick in the box. But I'm just not... Was he religious before? Has he been religious previously? Like, or is this... To me, I'm guessing it's a new turn. And he's just now doing the faith stuff because he wants to further get into that rightoid space. Just seems like a really odd move. And whilst obviously I don't want to just be like, oh yeah, well I'm right about this. It just gives, I guess, a sort of fresh angle on this idea that he is doing the Russell Brand move. But in any case, let's have a look and see what he's got to say for himself.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I just kind of wanted to make a video, kind of just talking about what's going on in my head. And I think what I'm about to say is going to be very relatable to a lot of people, because I've kind of been talking about this to some of my friends lately, and they say that they kind of have a similar experience, and they kind of want to give this a shot with me. But I was actually going to do a very off-brand video for me, but I was kind of going to tell you guys why I kind of gave up on religion when I was a child, and why I'm open to giving it another shot today.
I mean, he is doing a Russell Brand, bro. He's doing it. He's doing it. Is he not? I mean, what the fuck is going on here? He's going to be getting baptized next. He's going to be in the river getting baptized by Bear Grylls.
Obviously, it's been about 8 to 9 days since Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And I'm not moving past this. It's not something that I don't think I'm going to be able to, move on from quite quickly, because the reason why Charlie Kirk's assassination was so fucked was that he truly was killed for just holding the same beliefs as our grandparents once held. And I have to believe that if they're going to go out of their way to...
Okay, dare I offer something? Have the rightoids had too tough a time recently with my very libtarded takes? What I really dislike is this idea of like, it was just for having these opinions, right? Now, I fully, unequivocally, 100% condemn the killing of Charlie Kirk. It is disgusting, it is disgraceful, and I'm against political violence of that kind, okay? I just think that it wasn't just because he had these beliefs. It was obviously because he, went and spoke these beliefs and wanted to spread these beliefs and wanted to be something of an evangelist for the beliefs. Still bad, still wrong, still fucked up, okay? But it's not like he was just a random conservative and someone came and shot him in the head, right? He obviously was someone who was pushing these beliefs and wanted to propagandize these beliefs, right? And again, it's terrible that he got shot. It's awful. I completely condemn it. I just really dislike this narrative that it was just for having beliefs. No, it wasn't just for having beliefs. That's not an accurate description of it, you know? And people should not be killed for having beliefs, nor expressing those beliefs, nor being a propagandist for those beliefs, nor whatever. None of that should mean you're killed. Okay? Murder is bad. I just don't want to get put on that website. I don't want to go on that fucking website, okay? Fucking chudlogic. Here's his address. Here's his address. And he said Charlie Kirk was justified getting killed because of his beliefs.
To assassinate somebody, that they were probably saying something that they didn't want anybody hearing. And Charlie Kirk was a very religious man. He was a man of faith, and he will be remembered for being a man of faith. And I would like to go on record saying, I don't believe I've gone to church in about 14 years, but quite soon I'm going to be going to church.
He is, I saw this in chat, he's rebranding. He's rebranding. I mean, dude, what the fuck? Random church visit. I mean, huh?
For the first time in 14 years. And I'll let you guys know how it goes. I hope it's fine. But my experience with religion since I was a kid was I grew up in a Christian household. I was raised by a single mother. I had 2 brothers and a sister. It was a very dysfunctional household. It was a very abusive household. It wasn't a very fun place to live in. Obviously, my parent was very...
No. Right-wingers within my chat don't like this. I think that people who are more, ideologically on board with the right, I think they see through it, and I think they do see it as quite a sort of like cynical ploy. It's really only Tectone's audience who I think buy into this, and then the kinds of people who aren't like, I don't think Asmongold's viewers are super hardline ideological right wingers, so to speak. I just think they're more consuming of right wing content because it's like gamer right wingism. Does that make sense? It's like a more casual form of it. And I think that's the people that watch Asmongold, that's the people that watch Nuxtaku, that's the people that watch, Tectone now with his new turn. Right? I mean, I just don't really see them. Like, they're right wingers, but they're not like... I don't know the best way to put it. They're not like thoughtful, well-considered, ideologically minded right wingers. They're like almost casual right wingers. Yeah, they don't have strong convictions. They just hate some of the woke shit, and that gets pumped out. It's like they're consumers of it. Like the content pushes them in that direction too. There's like a cyclical thing happening there where they're like, oh, this woke shit's kind of annoying. Oh, what's Asmongold talking about? Oh yeah, Trump's kind of based. Yeah, I kind of like what he says. It's like that line of it, right? The tourist right. Yeah, exactly. Because there's people in my chat who I know somewhat of having like right-wing perspectives based on what they say, and they seem to have quite a negative view of this because I think they do see it as like, yeah, like a cynical ploy or something. So they just, they're not going to sit and watch a fucking Tectone video or a Nuxtaku video. They're probably going to watch an actual like right-wing commentator rather than someone who is like a tourist just casually commenting for YouTube bucks, I don't think I've seen anyone in my chat, maybe they just don't like Tectone, but I don't think I've seen anyone in my chat be like, oh yeah, this is based actually, and he's really taken a good turn here. It just seems people are kind of very skeptical of it all,
Hardcore Christian, and my grandparents were very hardcore Christians, and everyone around me was very hardcore Christian, and well, they weren't really that nice to me. I mean, I'll just be real. They weren't really that nice. And I'm like, well, okay, these people all suck.
How do I make money off depressed people?
Of Tuber talking about politics is an incitement to violence.
Indeed. Thank you very much for the super chat.
And they're mean, and they tell me to believe in God, but they're really mean to me, and they tell me mean stuff. I remember I went to the church in like maybe 2nd, 1st, 3rd grade, and maybe somebody told the Pope to say this to me, But I remember, or whatever the pastor. Sorry, I don't know. I'm new to this whole thing. I'm new. Pardon me. And the pastor told me that I was a little kid. I played tons of video games.
Okay, I mean, yeah, I know he's got it wrong. I think is that genuine? I don't know. Dude, I will admit I am very skeptical of Tectone. So I do kind of think, is that some sort of ploy as well? But that's probably not. I'm probably reading too much into it. I think he just genuinely didn't say the right word. Didn't say the right word. But the conspiratard narrative is that he is doing it to be affable to people he's trying to sell this into, But that's too conspiracy theory or whatever. I don't really think that necessarily.
And he told me that Pokemon was the devil and that I would go to hell if I played Pokemon. And my grandma told me that Tetris is the devil and I'm going to go to hell if I play Tetris. It reminds me of that Waterboy movie with Adam Sandler where it's like, girls are the devil. You're going to go to hell if you talk to any of those women, which, I mean, to be honest, I think my life would be much easier if I never talked to a woman, but no, well.
Okay, I don't, that sounds ridiculous to me. Maybe it's true, I wasn't there. Sounds a bit bullshitty. To me personally.
I mean, maybe I'm being tested right now. Regardless. Yeah, so I kind of was just silently would just nod and I would do the prayer and I would sit at the table eating and I would pray to the Lord and all that stuff. Meanwhile, being surrounded by these people who were mean to me, who kept on telling me to believe in Jesus and be good to thy neighbor, but they weren't good to me. And I was like, well, why would I want to do any of this? This is kind of fucking gay. And so, eventually, I was taken custody by my father in around 4th grade, but he was never really around. So I just played video games all day. And, everybody who I met online in World of Warcraft was a Satanist and very religious. And they also told me religion was gay. And so I had this guy called Julian.
So here's the thing, right? I'm watching this and I'm skeptical, and that's the point of this, right? What if you agree with
If
it?
his new Christian friends look at any of his old anime ranking vids, he's so cooked.
Thank you for the $10. Thank you. If I was Nuxtaku sat here, second monitor, materials non-disclosed, what would I be saying about this? What would the take be? What would the thing be? Like, you'd just be like, yeah, I can understand, man. Charlie Kirk unlocking religion in you. I really get that. Like, I don't know. It's so interesting in me to think, like, how would you engage with this if you liked Tectone and wanted to be on his side? It just feels like it would be inherently dishonest to prop this up because they're so clear. It's dripping with cynicism throughout the entire thing,
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Suey eyes.
Thank you for the $5. Yeah, I don't know. This feels very bizarre. The whole energy of this, what I feel is a very dishonest pivot towards Christianity, religion now. It's all very bizarre to me. Like, people are thinking this is like, what, legit? Like, it's obviously not.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
I can't wait for him to have a what-if altist level of schizophrenic meltdown. You know it is coming and we are here for it. Wow.
Indeed. Thank you for the super chat. Also, I've realised I haven't got a goal set up. Last goal of the day, guys. Last goal of the day, ladies and gentlemen.
Who was one of my best friends. And he was like a Wiccan, I think. And he was like, I was playing Xenoblade. This is like fast forward tons of years later. Maybe like 9th, 10th grade, probably. I was playing Xenoblade 2 or Xenoblade 1. Well, I was talking to him.
Lock in.
And he's like, I am a Wiccan, and I want to invite you to my tribe, John. And I'm like, I got no idea what the fuck you're talking about. But you're kind of scaring me right now. Religion was just really fucking weird to me. I went to a Lutheran school in 8th grade as well, and I was like, oh, man, this shit's boring as shit. Anyways, fast forward to like 10th or 11th grade, I have this guy who's my brother, His name is Mike. He's a fucking man. One of the greatest goddamn people on this earth. And he was telling me about this thing called dimethyltryptamine. I don't know if you guys know what dimethyltryptamine is. It's like this plant
DMT.
that apparently you like smoke. And this was like back in like 2010, 2011s. And apparently there was like this one thing where you like pass out, you meet these three guys, and they kind of look at your body and they tell you, they like take you around like the world and they break down things algebraically and mathematically, and they say, we were expecting you, but you came earlier than we anticipated. And it was like leading people to believe that this was like kind of the gateway to like heaven and all that shit. And anyways,
I beg you never find religion. If I was to find religion, I would not do stuff like this about it. I might say, I don't know, at some point, like, guys, I've had a realization. I don't want to get into it massively. Obviously, you know I'm an atheist, but I've actually realized that God is real and loves me and has opened me into his arms, blah, blah, blah. I'd probably have to say something about it, just because I think if you've got like a public view about something like that, I like, and people interact with you thinking that, like, it's probably fair to let them know that it's changed or something. Like, if I suddenly became a Reform voter and I voted Reform at the next election, I think it would be fair that I tell you that. And it's the same with like religion, you know? But I'd keep it more personal, but I just say, you know, hey guys, I'm religious now. Stylo 1. And that's it, you know? No, I wouldn't milk it because it's a personal thing, but I just think it's right to let people know that that's changed. How do you know? Well, I mean, you just have to trust me, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I have got a very solid track record of honesty, I feel like.
But how do I make money off depressed
My
people?
word is my bond.
Chud found Jesus, he'd just come on stream and say, guys, I'm gay now.
Indeed. On God, on God. Thank you for the super chats.
I started writing like an article trying to, and this is so gay, I was trying to like debunk the existence of God when I was like 15, 16 years old. Because I was like, I know everything.
We've been there.
I'm him.
We've been there.
No, I'm above all this noise. I
remember buying the God Delusion when I was probably around that age. Yes, I remember very well.
These other motherfuckers, they don't get it. But the problem was that when I was trying to debunk God, every time I ever looked into it, I would find more reasons to believe than to not believe. And so for me,
I find that very hard to believe. I find it very hard to believe that you would go out to seek the stuff that God doesn't exist, and you'd find reasons to believe that he does. Where would you even be seeing that? Like, yeah, the point is not that you go to seek out God doesn't exist. It's like you have some spiritual awakening because of normally shit that happens in your life and stuff, right? I went to disprove him, and God proved he was real to me.
for me, I was always like, damn, all right, well, I don't want to be Christian because I knew Christians. Christians were mean to me. I'll be agnostic. And I've done a lot of research.
Yeah, this does all seem like...
I've done a lot of research, and I would like to say that since, it's kind of hard to put all this into words, I always believed since then, since like 16 to 18, that there is a God, that there is an afterlife, that is, your placement is subject to...
But how do I make money off depressed people?
Based God.
Empty Moon, thank you for the super chats. Appreciate it, thank you.
Your morality. I'll be agnostic. And I've done a lot of research.
I mean, if you were to go and seek out proof God doesn't exist or whatever, like, and then you realize God did exist, like, why would you be agnostic? Agnostic is when you've got no conviction one way or another. You just think there's maybe something out there, right? I think. I don't know, dude.
A lot of research, and I would like to say that since, it's kind of hard to put all this into words, I always believed since then, since like 16 to 18, that there is a God, that there is an afterlife, that is your placement is subject
Okay, that's
to
wonderful. But
your
how do I
morality.
make money off depressed people?
Chud, I am up here in heaven chilling with Churchill. Guess who not is up here? I can give you a guess. 6 million of them aren't.
Bro, that is insane, dude. Thank you for the 333. An Austrian painter. That's a wild tip, though.
On whether you were a good or a bad person when you were alive on this world. There were some things that the Bible said that I agreed with. There were some things that the Bible said that I didn't agree with. But I'm so ignorant on what the Bible has actually said, and I don't know if I was fed misinformation, that I'm not really sure if I even need to bring that up anymore, because I realize a lot of people just lie about a lot of things. I'm currently looking into the Crusades on whether or not they were actually as horrific as they said. I actually have a documentary pulled up.
Bro, the Crusades were absolutely fucking brutal. It was the enforcement of Christian, like, belief and doctrine over, like, certain large swaths of the world with violent fucking force. And it was, like, brutal. People were, like, slaughtered. I mean, fair enough. Look, I don't have... To be completely fair, if you want to look into it, fair enough. Fair enough. It just feels to me like this is a little, piece of red meat to the rightoids. Well, I don't think the Crusades are even that well. I'm going to check and see if the Crusades are even that bad at all. I'm trying to see if that horrific medieval combat scenario is actually that horrific, and turns out it's not. Deus Vult. He's going to say Deus Vult next.
Actually, for the past, 15 days I've been on break. I've stopped watching anime. I've stopped listening to music, and I just play informative educational videos.
Whoa, he's giving... Bro, he stopped watching anime. This is ridiculous. I literally cannot believe what I'm hearing right now. Dude, he's also getting a bit of Nux Taku influence. Quickly, disavow the anime.
Multiple videos on the same subject to get multiple people weighing in on it and trying to figure out what I believe from all of the information that's presented. I've also been kind of just really meditating and realizing what I want to do, what I want to be, and what I want my life to look like when I finish my journey as a content creator, which I'll never be able to retire, guys.
Okay,
I tried.
but how
I stayed.
do I make money off depressed people?
I'm glad I was raised by agnostics, but if there is a God, I'm sure Tectone and Kirk will be burning beside me.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Thank you for the super
but how do
chats.
I make money off depressed people?
Yeah, Chud, but what if I told you one of the dozen crusades was actually mostly peaceful? There were only a few cities burnt down with people inside.
Thank you for the $5, Silent Dudley. Thank you. Someone should recommend the greatest... Someone should recommend the greatest story never told to Techie. It would be so funny. Dude, I had that recommended to me once by a friend of mine. And he said, you should watch this documentary. It gives a different perspective on World War II. And I went into it totally blind. No idea what the fuck it was, right? So start watching it. This is when it was still on YouTube, I think. And yeah, it was like, okay. Talking about Hitler. Ooh. Seem to have a few takes that I'm not really familiar with from the history books about old Hitler there, but okay, fair enough. And then they start going into Auschwitz had X, Y, and Z doors, and there was a fucking swimming pool. And I was like, whoa, I was literally getting flashbanged with, Nazi propaganda, basically. I was like, whoa, dude, what the fuck am I listening to? And yeah, I was a bit the friend that sent it to me, I was like, mate, this is fucking Holocaust denial and shit. What is this? And he goes, no, it's just a different view on it, Obviously you got the official narrative, but this is a different perspective on it. And it's yeah, the wrong perspective, the non-historical perspective. Some fucking Nazis put together a documentary and you fucking been sucking in by it. Oh. Anyway, funny moment. I've not spoken to that guy for years. We used to play video games all the time together, but we drifted apart, unfortunately.
off Twitter for like 5 days, but I love Twitter so much. It's so bad. It's like, I love it and I hate it. It's like PvP. It's so bad. Anyways, sorry, my head's kind of all over the place, but I always had my own specific belief system that there is a God, that there is a afterlife. And maybe that was out of fear. I don't really enjoy the concept of death too much, or at least I didn't. But now I think I've come to terms with it. If it happens, it happens. And I hope, that I've done enough good to be granted a more comfortable position in the afterlife than a, uncomfortable position. That leads me unto now, where maybe about 2-3 weeks ago, I still felt the same, still believed in a higher power and the existence of heaven and hell, but I actually started reading the Bible lately.
Okay. He's reading the Bible too. I'm telling you, man. Brand pathway. I'm certain of it. I'm certain of it at this point. Way too coincidental that then he releases a video about faith after all the other rightoid stuff he's been angling towards. That's my perspective.
I think I'm okay with saying this. There was a YouTuber by the name of Tactical Templar that kind of made Jesus seem pretty cool, as well as Nux Taku that made Jesus seem pretty cool.
Oh my God, dude. Nux Taku and Tactical Templar leading the way. Shepherding the herd. What the fuck? Tactical, yeah, we'll look up Tactical Templar. I'm assuming it's this channel. Tactical Templar, bringing the Crusade to the culture war. Bro, I feel like I've been transported back in time to 2016. What is this? Oh my God, AI slop.
This is the most delusional shit I've ever heard.
I'm starting a family.
Tactical Templar is so funny on Twitter because this guy is like a giga traditionalist. And like, bro, he's just going off on every OnlyFans girl saying like, yeah.
People.
Taking the teachings of Jesus from a nonce is crazy.
Dude, this is nuts. Thank you for the super chat. Tectone saw this and started believing in Christ. Dude. Oh my God, man.
Enjoy your fame. Anyways, when you're 5 years and you don't have a kid, you're probably going to kill yourself. That's just how it is. It's just so funny, bro. It's so funny.
Wow, great Christian values there. Great stuff.
I'm starting a
Brothers, I had an interaction on Twitter that was actually very interesting. So there was this girl, a VTuber, who is promiscuous, degenerate, just completely and totally broken. Somebody that goes into content creation with the idea of, well, I really want a dopamine hit. In fact, I reached out to this person, and they explained why they did what they did. It was actually kind of insightful and interesting. They post pictures of...
Dude, this has really taken me back as well, because I remember channels like this and like mocking these kind of channels in the past. And there's a lot to mock there, right? This reminds me of... Oh, fuck, I can't remember his name. It's like a total shitter. But they were like an ANCAP, and they represented themselves with some stupid comic thing. And it's just got that vibe about it,
wonderful.
The fucking
but how
armor
do I
and
make
shit.
money off depressed people?
This guy is the opposite of badass. He sounds like such a goober.
Thank you for the $5. Night shift 10,000. Is that his name? Hey, dude, no way. No fucking way I remembered that. That's insane, dude. That is insane. Dude, honestly. You'll be, look, 750. I remembered this from the depths of my memory of my content from literally like 5 years ago. This guy.
Hello, everyone. Night Shift 10,000 here. I know, right? He's finally putting out content after all these years. Yep, I decided it was about time. I've been on YouTube since 2005, 13 years in fact. But I've always been a content viewer, never a content creator. I wanted to create content. Back in 2008, I wanted to start with animated music videos and video montages back when they were really popular.
Anyway, like, I don't know what it is, just something about the avatar he's chosen, the fucking guns and shit. There's other videos where he's in like a fucking vault full of gold and shit like that. You know, it's just ridiculous. But I don't know where it all is now, it's so long ago. This gives me that kind of vibe, you know?
Their tits online basically for a dopamine hit and a serotonin hit, and they like the affirmation. They basically confirmed what we all know to be true. And so that was very interesting. I appreciate them for that. But there was a male feminist that came out of nowhere.
Male feminist in 2025.
To basically freak out. And this was really, really interesting. So,
guys, I argued with some fucking loser nobody on Twitter. Here's the video about it.
This interaction here, by the way, this is the original post.
Bro, please.
You know, this person obviously thinks very high of themselves. They put this out for attention. It's a picture of their tits, and they think that, you know, I made the point of saying, someone wrote all over you with a marker. That's terrible. You know, making fun of their bad tattoo job, and you know they obviously got mad. And
got him. OnlyFans slut status. Owned and raped. Dude, that's so pathetic, dude. This is wretched. Tectone's new favorite channel, by the way.
Freaked out, and then I had a little bit of back and forth, and this said, basically, lady, you're showing your tits online for attention from gooners, unworthy, because she was basically like, who are you to make fun of my tattoo? You're unworthy of these tits either. Like, I'm like, oh, God. Like, this is ridiculous. Lady, you're showing your tits online for attention from gooners. Unworthy. The only guys who are...
We've hit gold. We've hit absolute gold here. I feel I'm getting taken back to 5 years ago.
These comments are pathetic losers that you would never really give the time.
Yeah, the backbone of Tectone's new philosophical religious foundation is this guy arguing with some slut on Twitter. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous.
Humble yourself. So we had a back and forth, right? And then I post my infamous hat at this point. And here we enter the Winter Soldier moment.
Liberal tears.
Of this guy. Editor Coltrane, who has 96,000 followers. Now, I don't know how many of that are bots. But apparently, this guy's really only followed by John Cena. But, yeah, apparently this guy did not take too kindly to what I said. And he said, you're a horrible fucking person. And children cartoons...
Wow, dude, yeah. Look at that tweet with 24 views. You really heckin' owned this guy, didn't you? Reddit moment.
Villains are modeled in your image, you effing clown. I responded, appropriately. What a grotesque, homunculus loser you are.
I owned him here. I really owned him.
The fact that there are freaks like you oozing around the internet and being that afraid of tradition, honor, integrity, and dignity is fucking pathetic. Whoever raised you should have taught you some values. This person responds.
Bro, who watches this fucking slop, dude? I mean, it's so fucking ridiculous. It's nothing content. You're just reading through a Twitter argument that you had because you want your audience to clap like seals. Be gone, gooners. These look like bots, dude. Are you bold? Are you bold? Oh.
You can have honor and integrity without oppressing fucking women.
Techie is listening to this while playing stoic ASMR in the other ear.
You brain dead bootlicker. So this person saw this hat, had a Winter Soldier moment, and goes, "This is oppression." If you think this is oppression, you are fucking retarded. You are retarded on a level where you should be made fun of for the rest of your life for that post. You went out in public and basically declared, "Guys, I am not cognitively there." I said, oppression.
I mean, obviously, this editor Coltrane guy is a total fucking pathetic freak as well. Like, I mean, I got no love for this dude either. Everyone involved in this is a total loser. But to editor Coltrane's, favor, he's not made a video going over this absolute shitter argument on Twitter where the collective views of every tweet here is about fucking 100. I mean, what is going on here?
Who said anything about oppression? You mentally ill spurging retard. So this guy goes to Grok. Hey Grok, is it a form of oppression to want women to obey their husband and bear children? So Grok doesn't give this guy the answer that he wants. Because
this is obviously retarded too. Why the fuck would you this is such a stupid gotcha attempt that people make now, and so it doesn't go the way they want it to, and Grok gives them either a non-specific answer or it disagrees with them. Wow, incredible stuff.
Idea is subjective. Feminist perspectives often view enforced obedience and childbearing as patriarchal oppression, limiting when it was taught a traditional view and see it as natural, voluntary role. So this basically explains it to him, and then this guy goes, so pushing this non-consensual, pushing this on non-consensual individuals. So basically, Grok schooled this retard, and then he goes, well, I don't like that answer. So,
well, no, Grok didn't school him. Grok said, essentially, it depends on your point of view. Like, Grok is saying, well, if you're this fucking guy in the armor, then that's going to be your perspective. But if you're woke trash, you're going to believe this. It's like, it's subjective. It's dependent on what your own perspective on the world is.
So then he changes the question. Like, well, okay, yes, it's consent.
This is obviously wretched to try and get it to say what you want. But it's not correct to say that Grok schooled him. Grok just said, well, potentially, you're entitled to your point of view, essentially.
But what if it wasn't consent? What if a husband forced his wife to marry him and forced her to submit to him and forced her to have... That's not a marriage. It's not a marriage. And of course, these male feminists ignore the fact that my hat says women. So it's addressed to women. It's not addressed to men. It's addressing women. This is an ought. This is what you ought to do.
Well done. Well done, Templar.
So this guy then goes, after he gets the answer he wants by changing the question, he goes, oh, look, the clanker gets it. Grok answered no, and that you're retarded.
No, it didn't. It said it's subjective.
So you rephrased the question to be an answer, and to be an answer you wanted, and Grok agreed with you because you're that fucking pathetic. No, a husband you love, admire, and respect, submitting to him and bearing his children is not oppression.
Bro, you are showing why Grok gave the answer that it did. It's subjective based on your point of view of the world. Oh my god, dude. I can't believe... I mean, I feel like, we'll finish this. But already this video has outstayed its welcome. Going over your shitter debate with some nobody. I mean, what?
Sub 60 IQ degenerate mentally ill fucking retard. Choice is the key word, man. There was never...
Techie was watching this while browsing TikTok Black Sun edits on the second monitor.
Always about choice. No one's talking about fortune, but this guy is having like a full-blown Winter Soldier moment. This guy saw this hat and he just saw red. It's because these people are so fucking stupid and they're so pathetic. So,
Winter Soldier
this guy
moment.
has this meltdown, right? And he's
Tactical Templar affirmations.
I put this guy on blast because he's just really fucking weak. Really fucking
well done,
weak,
Templar.
really fucking stupid. And so this guy, let me start here. I go, this guy, Editor Coltrane, is a retard that thinks the traditional function
And now he's taken it to his main page for a grand total of 55 views. Also, I'd like to know that this tweet is 28 minutes old, and obviously it continues on. So he had this argument, and he was so seething about it that he decided to make a video, like, pretty much immediately as soon as the argument was finished. He was like, I'm going to make a video about this. My audience is going to fucking agree with me.
Of marriage, where a woman chooses her husband, submits to him as is in the Bible, and bears his children, is oppression. Yes, these retarded degenerate losers are real, and you should pity them. Yes, a woman should have...
You should watch this guy's video on why he doesn't think Nux is a pedo. Okay, maybe another day. Because, dude, I need to finish this techie video. Dude, also, we got to cover the Raja Jackson stuff today. I want to talk about that. Raja Jackson got arrested, apparently. Which I think anyone could have predicted.
Have a choice to get married and have children. Forcing your views is the evil shit you're doing. By the way, all this time I'm helping women, and this guy is hurting women. His ideology is hurtful. It's hurtful because it leads women down a path of being lonely, sad, and miserable when they don't have a family. They don't have anyone to love them, you know, from their own lineage.
Yeah, this is a real throwback, man.
It's sad. It's fucking pathetic. I love how you male feminists, who, by the way, have the highest track record of being perverts and sex pests, was triggered by my hat telling women to find a husband, submit to him, and get pregnant. You are a broken soul, brother. Telling women to find a husband, submit, and get pregnant sounds like somebody, and then he calls me a bootlicker. Typical male feminist to ignore the first word of the hat. It's addressed to women, not men, you fucking freak. You dishonorable, degenerate, disreputable douchebag. And then this guy goes on a tantrum, and then, you know, of course we get to the point where this guy calls me a Nazi. Of course.
Wow.
You know,
some deranged, well, not even deranged, some fucking loser, soy-infused fucking Twitter retard is called, oh my god, what a twist in the tail, guys. Oh, holy fuck. Tell us more, Tactical Templar.
of course, you always get there. It's not your place to try to convince people how to live. Don't tread on me, motherfucker, unless it's religious Nazi propaganda. Yeah, so basically this guy calling me Nazi. It is actually. Stop leading women down a path of pain and misery. You should be in jail for that Nazi bullshit. Hey, FBI, you might want to investigate this.
Right.
I'm sure he's Antifa.
He fucking added the FBI, bro. He added the FBI. Cash Patel, cash. 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 Get this guy arrested now.
Funny, and so I just basically said, I've decided I want to feature you in a video. Guys, these women are broken. By the way, I'm not going to share the DMs. I'm sure this girl will share the DMs, but I'm not going to. This girl was very broken. Way more broken than I even initially thought. Just a complete and total degenerate. Somebody that just reveled in the sort of demonic energy that you see. And it was foul. Like, it was gross. And she was like, the Bible's all about coming. And, you know, like, you know, talking about how she wanted to start sexting for like $5 a minute. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. You fucking she.
Dude, there is an unquestionable, I believe, psychosexual element to this as well. The woman sounds like a total fucking horrific slut.
Okay,
whatever,
that's wonderful.
right?
But how do I
But
make money?
there's a weird
off the press?
psychosexual energy
Why
coming
can
from
this
these
guy
guys.
replace CKs and not have any KKK allegations?
They ain't give it the 333. You can hear it. It's like this bizarre, like, trying to rationalize one's own feelings of sexuality or something, you know? And also, just the idea that you're going around and, like, chatting shit to some slut on Twitter. It's like, okay, yeah, there's a bunch of sluts on Twitter. Why'd you feel the need to go and fucking tell them, you know, talk shit to them? You know? There's something in that as well. Ooh, another woman with a picture of her tits out to talk shit to. Excellent, excellent news. I wouldn't be surprised if this loser was fucking looking up the OnlyFans leaks after he'd fucking finished arguing with the bitch. Very bizarre behavior. Very odd. You know, I've made clear my perspective on the pornification of our society and how I very much dislike this culture of OnlyFans and the wide availability and accessibility of pornographic material on social media platforms, da-da-da. But I wouldn't fucking go and argue the toss with some OnlyFans whore. I mean, it's like, whatever. Like, they're just... I don't know. And also, if you genuinely believe they're like these broken women who are like in a bad way and they're being led down a bad path, how does you talking shit to them on Twitter help them? Like, it just doesn't, does it? You know? What would Jesus do? What would Jesus do? He'd wash their feet, okay? That's what Jesus would have done. Yeah, they're like cogs in the machine. They're cogs in the machine. Yeah, exactly.
Demon, that's so gross. You know, it just... These people are broken, but she did provide some valuable information at the very least. And one of the things that I found interesting is her response. Like, she was in deep denial, but she admitted, I know this could be difficult to get, she says. Sometimes people do things without a reward or payoff. In this instance, so she's basically just being combative to be combative. I get to show my immaculate rack, and all my girlfriends. You're not doing it for your girlfriends. Be honest. Reply and tell me how immaculate they are. No, you're doing it for the guys. You're doing it for the gooners. You're doing it for them to give you affirmation. That releases dopamine and serotonin to the brain, which are happy hormones that our body creates. Some people aren't able to naturally produce those hormones. Oh, so then you just show your tits. Yeah, it's a medical thing. Yeah, right. No, you don't show your tits because you can't properly produce serotonin. You fucking witch. No, you do it because you want attention and you want money from these people, and apparently that's your only talent, and that's fucking pathetic. Anyway, brothers, just a bit of a short video talking about these creeps that are out there. This guy with nearly 100,000 followers, just an absolute creep, an absolute weirdo, a male feminist, one of these gooning, just pustules of humanity. It's fucking gross. Anyway, that'll do it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
There we go, guys. What was the response? Mainly people just supporting. Oh, I saw the bold comment. That was funny. Anyway, there we go. So now we got an insight into what Tectone's watching in his spare time, ladies and gentlemen. Foundation of his ideological changeover. Anyway, come on. Let's finish this video.
As well as Charlie Kirk being so comfortable with death and all he wanted to be remembered for was his faith that I actually started reading the Bible, and I actually like it. It's been pretty cool. I believe what I read was Genesis 37 through 50, which I believe was the story of Joseph. It was a great story. Some great passages like Galatians 4:16, which can be summarized by, "So we're enemies now that I've told you the truth." As well as I really enjoyed hearing the story of Job, which a great YouTuber summarized as the most unfair story in the Bible ever told, which has been very entertaining for me. Really trying to give this whole religion thing a shot has been difficult, but I'm trying to enter it with an open heart and an open mind, because I don't know if there's many people like me out there where I've always wanted to truly believe, but it's hard. And you do want to fully commit, but you're still unsure, and you want to be sure, and you want to feel the way that you believe other people, which is so strong in their belief, because I think it's so beautiful. It is. It's a very, very, very beautiful thing, but it's difficult. And I've been afraid of fully giving myself to trying this, but I'm going to give it a shot. We'll see how it goes. And
I'm guessing it's going to be successful and you're going to be born again Christian before we know it, if I had to guess. If we had to predict. Yeah. This is just further brandism occurring.
I'm not going to make this a
What's your
religion
rebrand?
channel or anything. I just
Okay,
wanted to
that's
let you guys
wonderful.
know that
But
I'm going
how
to
do
give
I
church a
make
shot, and
money
if it's
off
cool,
depressed people?
And rock list cool stories of people in the Bible where they prove everyone wrong and relate it to me.
Thank you for the super chat. Thank you, Gucci.
great. If not, okay, well, wasn't for me. But I think there's 3 very important principles in life.
Giving these vibes when he talks about the Bible. Always owned a Bible. Genesis 3750 is goated. Bro, it's not an anime. I mean, how do I mean, he's obviously, you know, not. I mean, how is this how you would expect to be referred to if you're a Christian? Like goated? I don't know. It just feels a bit like, if I was Christian, I would presume this would be somewhat disrespectful, even as funny as it is. Like it's the word of God. It's supposed to be treated with a level of reverence, I would have thought. Not that I care about upsetting Christians. It's just more so just like, you know, I don't know. How did you do, fellow kids?
Which are mind, body, and soul. And since I started reading the Bible again, and I'm not trying to convert anybody to Christianity here. I'm just telling you guys what's going on with me. Since I started reading the Bible again, I feel better. I do. I feel very good. I feel very motivated. I feel like I have purpose. I was in the gym yesterday, and I'm currently on a severe deficit, and I'm working out incredibly hard. I'm hitting all my macros. And there's been 2 other times where I felt truly touched by God himself. But for a 3rd time, I felt what I believe to be the Lord's presence in the gym. And it was a very unique feeling. And it was very, you know when you play Undertale
Okay,
and it's
that's wonderful. But how do I make
What the fuck
money
is going
off
on?
depressed people?
The dude from
This is
Right
nuts.
said Fred seems very down nowadays.
Brandroid, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it.
as you feel filled with determination. It kind of felt like that. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's placebo, maybe it's not. But I've always been a pretty spiritual guy. I mean, side note, when my grandmother passed,
People saying it's undiagnosed schizophrenia, and then the Undertale reference.
let me give you the whole story. So I was laying in my truck bed in El Paso, well, my friend's truck bed in El Paso, Texas. And I was kind of sad, and I tried praying to God for the first time in a long time back then. And my grandma came up to me and asked me, John, what are you doing in the bed? We don't really hang out anymore. Are you doing okay? I love you with my whole heart, and I miss you. And then immediately
Okay,
after that,
that's
she left.
wonderful.
Hey,
But how do I
thank you for
make
the
money
$2.
off depressed people?
I feel the spirit in this stream chat. Indeed.
And then I got a call from one of my family members informing me that my grandmother had just passed away in the hospital bed. And it was a very surreal experience. It was, and I'll never forget it. It's so specific in my mind. And it was scary, and I didn't know how to explain it. Maybe my brain's just fucked up. And, you know,
I saw this video, this cartoon night destroyed this horror on Twitter and thought, I gotta look into this Jesus thing. Turns out it's like the hit video game.
I'm schizophrenic, so it probably is. But I think the world's a crazy place. And I know for a while, religion was seen as like gay and wow, that's cringe. And I remember how glorified it was to just not believe in anything. And anyways, I just want to say I'm giving this a shot and would like to work on the whole mind, body, and soul. And I'll let you guys know how it goes. I don't know if any of you guys care. But to be honest, I kind of just miss talking to you guys, so I just figured I'd make a quick little YouTube video. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Appreciate you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. I hope. Bye-bye.
There we go. Thoughts? I mean, I mean, it's difficult because obviously I'm going to say, oh, look, more proof he's doing the brand thing. But am I just, you know, using whatever I can to back it? It's just too good. It's too good for that narrative, bro. He does this Voitoid shit, and then he's doing this religious shit. It's just like literally exactly the same thing that Russell Brand did. I'm not hateful. I'm very loving. But anyway, that's all I got on Techie. That was the Techie tent. That was the Techie tent. Brand did it for nefarious reasons. Well, I don't know if I'd use the term nefarious for Tectone. I just think he wants a bunch of pliable followers who will defend him if this stuff floating about around him starts to come out and looks bad, you know? That's my thought process, at least. But there we go, guys. There we go. There we go. Where did you rustle up that idea, Chud? Did you always brand him as religious? Very good. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. Right, guys. Let's do a palate cleanser. And then we'll do this Roger Jackson stuff to